Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have two sides of the aisle here that do two similar things, but in two different contexts. On our side of the aisle, we know that we cannot get certain bills through because we don't have the number of votes. And so we do what's called messaging bills. We run a bill that tries to speak something and illuminate what the other side of the aisle thinks by how they vote. But we know we can't get the bill passed. This is interesting because this type of bill does both. It's going to be passed because we can't stop it, but it's also a messaging bill. We had a bill in committee last night, did the same thing. It basically says—
Representative Bottoms, to the bill before us. Thank you.
That basically says that we do not agree with the Second Amendment. We do not agree with the mentality of the Second Amendment, and we're going to do this through ammunition. We're going to do this through through gun infringements or whatever. The Second Amendment still says no infringement. This is an infringement. When you're talking about ammunition, it's still an infringement. It's part of the big picture. And so this is what happens. It's a messaging bill and it's going to get voted in bill. I think part of the responsibility of everybody in this room is to make sure that your message gets outside these walls. This is a very small space that a lot of people don't know what's happening outside these walls. And so we have these kind of things that say, this is how I feel about ammunition, this is how I feel about guns and all this kind of stuff. And so in that respect, now this is an unconstitutional bill. We already know that the players that are going to be suing over this, the moment, if it gets signed, the moment it gets signed, we already know who's going to sue over this, which is really not good for the bottom line of the state, because this is going to cost the state millions of dollars. This is not going to stop at some lower level court. This is going to go all the way up. And we have to get it past the Colorado Supreme Court because of who they are. And so we have to get it to the SCOTUS. And so that's what's going to happen. And so that's going to cost millions of dollars to the state when we don't have millions of dollars to spend on this. But here's where it works out, I think, for me. And this is one of those, and I'm going to remind us throughout the entire session this year and next year, when these things are these kind of messaging things. Thank you for this, because this does let everybody know the two differences in the sides of the aisle. Why we say this is a bad bill, Second Amendment infringement. Why the other side would say whatever, and we're gonna take those votes and make sure that's known. So this is a good one for me personally, because here's the demographic that you might want to know. Right now, the number one group of people in the United States that are now buying guns, ammunition, obviously you don't buy a gun without ammunition, that are buying guns and ammunition, the number one block of people in the United States that are becoming pro-gun and pro-Second Amendment is females 18 to 25. So thank you for allowing me to be able to verbalize that in this room and outside this room. It's going to give me a lot of mileage. Thank you very much.
Representative